Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I dive deep into movies that deserve your attention. And today, I'm super excited to talk about this gem from 2018 called The Spy Who Dumped Me. If you're looking for a film that's got heart-pounding action, side-splitting comedy, and a celebration of unbreakable friendship, this is the one you need to add to your watch list right now. Imagine two everyday women getting thrust into a world of spies, chases, and international intrigue, all because of a bad breakup. It's hilarious, empowering, and just the kind of escapist fun we all crave. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be convinced to hit play and experience it for yourself. Let me walk you through why this movie is such a blast, sharing every little detail from its creation to its stars without giving away any of the surprises that make it so enjoyable. First off, let's set the scene. This is an American action comedy that clocks in at a perfect 117 minutes. Not too long, not too short, just right for a cozy movie night or a weekend binge. It was released on August 3, 2018, after a premiere at the Regency Village Theater in Los Angeles on July 25th. Originally slated for July 6th, they pushed it back because test screenings were so strong, and they wanted to avoid clashing with other big releases that month. Smart move, right? Distributed by Lionsgate, it hit theaters in the United States and raked in a solid box office of $75.3 million worldwide against a budget of $40 million. That's impressive for a film that blends spy thriller elements with laugh-out-loud humor. In the US and Canada alone, it grossed $33.6 million, and internationally, another $41.7 million. It opened to $12.4 million in its first weekend, landing third at the box office. And even though it dropped to $6.6 million in week 2, finishing 6th, it held its own in a crowded summer season. For home viewing, the DVD and Blu-ray came out on October 30th, 2018, courtesy of Lionsgate Home Entertainment, so it's super easy to stream or own today. Now, what makes this movie stand out? It's all about the dynamic between two best friends in their 30s living in Los Angeles, Audrey and Morgan. Audrey's dealing with a breakup from her boyfriend Drew, and suddenly their lives turn upside down in the most unexpected way. They end up jetting off to Europe, dodging danger, and proving that ordinary people can handle extraordinary situations with wit and grit. It's a buddy comedy at its core, but with high-stakes action that rivals any spy flick. And the best part? It celebrates female friendship without any forced drama or rivalry, just pure support and hilarity. If you've ever had a ride-or-die friend who makes even the toughest days fun, you'll see yourself in this. That's why you should watch it. It's empowering, it's funny, and it reminds us that adventure can find you anywhere, even after a heartbreak. Let me tell you about the incredible team behind this. Directing the film is Susanna Fogel, who also co-wrote the script. This was her first feature film as a director, and what a debut. Before this, Susanna had directed episodes of TV shows like Life Partners, which she also wrote and directed. That was a romantic comedy starring Leighton Meester and Gillian Jacobs, about two best friends navigating love and life. She brings that same warmth to female relationships here. In interviews, Susanna has shared that she wanted to fill a gap in the market for a good friendship movie packed with action. She co-wrote it with David Iserson because they were looking for something fresh. A story where women aren't just sidekicks, but the heroes of their own chaotic adventure. Susanna has talked about how she drew inspiration from real friendships, emphasizing how strong they can be without manufactured conflicts. She aimed to show women being capable, funny, and tough, all while keeping the tone light and entertaining. In one chat with Variety, she mentioned that while many directors pull from personal experiences, this story is pure fiction. No real spy adventures in her life, but she imagined what it would be like if a breakup led to something wild. She also focused on mixing comedy with intense action, making sure the fight scenes and chases felt real and visceral. For example, she worked closely with the stunt team to craft sequences that were bloody and bonkers, matching the energy of male-led action films but with a comedic twist. Susanna's vision makes this movie so appealing. It's not just laughs, it's got edge. If you're a fan of directors who champion strong women, like Patty Jenkins or Greta Gerwig, you'll love what Susanna brings here. She's since gone on to direct films like Winner and Cat Person, but this one showcases her talent for blending genres seamlessly. The script, as I mentioned, was co-written by Susanna Fogel and David Iserson. David is known for his work on TV shows like New Girl and Mr. Robot, where he excels at quirky characters and sharp dialogue. Together they crafted a story that's a playful nod to classic spy titles. The name itself is a fun riff on The Spy Who Loved Me from the James Bond series and Austin Powers' The Spy Who Shagged Me. It's got that self-aware humor, but it stands on its own as a modern take. They wrote it to highlight how two friends could surprise themselves in high-pressure situations, and the dialogue is snappy, full of witty banter that feels natural. In behind-the-scenes talks, they mentioned wanting to avoid cliches and focus on authentic relationships. That's what draws you in. The writing makes you root for these characters from the start. Producing this film were Brian Grazer and Erica Huggins from Imagine Entertainment, along with contributions from Braun Studios. Brian Grazer is a heavyweight. He's behind hits like A Beautiful Mind, Apollo 13, and the Rush Hour series. His touch ensures the production values are top-notch, with a mix of big action and intimate moments. Erica Huggins has worked on films like Flight Plan and In the Heart of the Sea, bringing experience in thrillers. Additional producers included Tina Anderson as co-producer, Robert Becker, Jason Kloth as executive producer, Howard Ellis, who produced the Hungary segments, Eric Feig, Susanna Fogel herself, Guy Riedel, Adam Goodman, Max Handelman, Donald Tang, and Katie McNichol. It's a solid team that kept the $40 million budget in check while delivering stunning visuals. Speaking of visuals, the cinematography is by Barry Peterson, who's shot comedies like We're the Millers and action flicks like 21 Jump Street. He captures the vibrant energy of Los Angeles and the picturesque yet perilous streets of Europe with a dynamic style. Think fast-paced camera work during chases and warm lighting for friend moments. Editing was handled by Jonathan Schwartz, who keeps the pace tight, balancing laughs with thrills. And the music? Composed by Tyler Bates, known for Guardians of the Galaxy and John Wick. His score amps up the tension and fun, with a soundtrack that includes tracks like Badass by Beck and other upbeat tunes that fit the vibe perfectly. Now, let's get to the stars. This cast is a dream team, and their chemistry is why you have to see this. Leading the way is Mila Kunis as Audrey Stockton. Mila is phenomenal. Born in Ukraine, she moved to the US at age 7, and during filming she actually visited her hometown of Chernivtsi with her husband Ashton Kutcher for the first time since leaving. How cool is that personal connection? Mila brings a relatable every woman quality to Audrey, the one who's just trying to move on from a breakup but ends up in the thick of things. You've seen her in Black Swan, where she earned an Oscar nomination, or in comedies like Bad Moms, where her timing is spot on. Here, she's the straight woman to the chaos, but with heart and toughness that make her inspiring. Mila has said in interviews that she loved the script's focus on friendship and how it allowed her to do action scenes. She trained hard for the physical demands, and it shows. She's nominated for Favorite Comedic Movie Actress at the People's Choice Awards for this role, and deservedly so. Right beside her is Kate McKinnon as Morgan Freeman. No, not that Morgan Freeman, but her character's name is a fun gag. Kate is a comedy powerhouse from Saturday Night Live, where she's impersonated everyone from Hillary Clinton to Justin Bieber. Her energy is infectious. Critics rave about her performance, calling her compulsively watchable. In this film, she brings the laughs with her improvised bits and physical comedy. Fun fact, Kate wrote some Japanese food puns for a scene at the last minute, and it had Mila cracking up on set. Kate's talked about how much she enjoyed the action elements, like learning fight choreography, and her chemistry with Mila feels like real best friends. If you love over-the-top yet grounded humor, Kate's why you'll be laughing non-stop. Then there's Sam Heughan as Sebastian Henshaw, the charming British agent. Sam is best known for Outlander, where he plays the dashing Jamie Fraser, and he brings that same charisma here. In interviews, Sam has shared how he got addicted to escape rooms while preparing, which helped with the puzzle-solving vibe of his character. He trained extensively for the action, including gun work and driving stunts. Sam auditioned via tape from Scotland and clicked instantly with the director. He's praised Susanna for making the set fun and collaborative. If you're a fan of handsome heroes with depth, Sam's performance will hook you. Justin Theroux plays Drew Thayer, Audrey's ex. Justin's versatile, from Mulholland Drive to writing Iron Man 2 and starring in The Leftovers. He brings mystery and edge to the role, And in behind-the-scenes chats, he mentioned enjoying the spy elements, drawing from his own script writing experience to add layers. Gillian Anderson is Wendy, bringing her X-Files gravitas with a comedic twist. She's iconic as Scully, but here she shines in a supporting role that's poised and powerful. Hassan Minhaj as Duffer. You know him from The Daily Show and Patriot Act, adds sharp wit. Ivana Sakno as Nadeja, a Ukrainian actress who trained in gymnastics, brings athleticism to her scenes. Jane Curtin as Carol, Audrey's mom, SNL alum, hilarious in Third Rock from the Sun. Paul Reiser, though not listed in some casts, appears as a parent figure in some descriptions, but let's confirm the full lineup. Fred Melamed as Roger, Kev Adams as the Biddy Auto driver Lucas, James Fleet as Tom, Carolyn Pickles as Marcia, Olafur Dari Olafsson in a role, Justine Waxberger, Dustin Demry Burns, and more like Lali Adifop, Miriam Novak, and even a cameo feel with the ensemble. The production was a global affair. Principal photography started in July 2017 in Budapest, Hungary, which stood in for most European locations like Lithuania, Prague, Berlin, Paris, Vienna, and even airport terminals. Almost everything European was shot there. It's amazing how they transformed the city. They also filmed in Amsterdam, Netherlands, in September 2017, wrapping up that month. The Hungary unit was produced by Howard Ellis, and the choice of Budapest saved costs while providing stunning backdrops. Behind the scenes, the cast dealt with intense stunts. Mila and Kate learned fight scenes, with Susanna directing to make them realistic yet funny. In one interview, Susanna talked about crafting set pieces, like chases, to feel empowering for the women. Sam mentioned gallivanting around Europe for shoots, adding authenticity. There were fun moments too. Kate's improv, Mila's laughs. Trivia-wise, the title's a Bond parody, and there's a post-credits scene set in Tokyo with Yakuza elements, but no details to spoil. The film features disguises like a Cirque du Soleil crew and a Canadian ambassador bit, adding layers of humor. Another fact, Susanna wanted no friendship drama, keeping it positive. Reception-wise, it's got mixed but positive vibes. On Rotten Tomatoes, 49% of 208 critic reviews are fresh, with a 5.3 out of 10 average. The consensus? It's not the most inventive spy comedy, but Kate McKinnon's a standout. Metacritic gives it 52 out of 100 from 43 critics, mixed or average. Audiences love it more, with over 2,500 ratings. Critics like from Pop Culture Reviews say it's amusing and thrilling, with jokes that land and action that soars. New Statesman notes fans of action might miss it thinking it's light, but the sequences are as intense as male-led ones. Observer calls it essential for Kate. Some critiques mention tonal shifts or not enough romance, but overall it's praised for buddy elements and performances. Audience reviews? One says it's excellent, full of laughs and fun characters. Another calls it funny without being serious. Sure, some find the script weak, but many appreciate the entertainment. Awards highlight its appeal. At the 2018 People's Choice Awards on November 11th, it won Favorite Comedy Movie, and Mila was nominated for Favorite Comedic Movie Actress. Golden Trailer Awards in 2019 nominated for Best Home Ent Comedy, and in 2018 won Best Graphics in a TV Spot, nominated for Best Motion Title Graphics. Legionnaires of Laughter Legacy Awards nominated for Best Comedy Film in 2018. It also won the Reframe stamp in 2019 for gender-balanced production. If you're just joining us or picking up from where we left off, today we're deep diving into The Spy Who Dumped Me from 2018. This wildly entertaining action comedy that's equal parts hilarious, heartwarming, and high-octane. Picture this. Two regular best friends in their 30s, living their normal LA lives, suddenly get yanked into a globe-trotting spy thriller, complete with assassins, secret agents, and non-stop chaos, all sparked by one messy breakup. It's the kind of movie that makes you laugh out loud one minute and cheer for these badass women the next. No wonder it's become a go-to for anyone craving fun, female-led escapism without any of the usual rom-com cliches or forced drama. Stick with me as I break down every detail, from the stars and creators to the wild production stories, filming adventures, and why this film is worth your time, all without spoiling a single plot twist or big reveal. By the end, you'll be ready to grab your remote and hit play with a friend. Let's keep going. We were just talking about the incredible cast, and honestly, That's where so much of the magic happens. Leading the charge is Mila Kunis as Audrey, the grounded, relatable one who's just trying to pick up the pieces after a rough breakup. Mila brings this perfect mix of vulnerability and unexpected toughness. You believe every step of her journey from everyday girl to accidental hero. Fun personal tidbit, Mila was actually born in Ukraine, and during the Budapest shoot, she and her husband Ashton Kutcher made a special trip back to her hometown of Chernivtsi, her first return since leaving as a kid at age 7. That kind of real-life connection adds an extra layer to her performance, especially in scenes involving Ukrainian elements early on. Mila's known for dramatic turns like Black Swan, where she got an Oscar nod, and comedies like Bad Moms. But here she shines in physical comedy and action. She trained intensely for the stunts, and it pays off big time. Then there's Kate McKinnon as Morgan. Oh man, Kate is pure comedic fire. Fresh off her legendary run on Saturday Night Live, she steals scenes left and right with her over-the-top energy, improvised lines, and physical humor. Critics and fans alike called her the standout, compulsively watchable, and downright genius in how she balances wild antics with genuine heart. One hilarious behind-the-scenes story. Kate came up with some last-minute Japanese food puns for a particular scene, and it had Mila cracking up on set. Kate's talked about loving the action training, learning fight choreography, getting thrown around, and how the friendship with Mila felt effortless because they clicked instantly. If you've ever needed a reminder that comedy can be bold and empowering, Kate's Morgan is it. Rounding out the main trio is Sam Heughan as Sebastian Henshaw, the suave British agent who's equal parts mysterious and charming. Sam, best known as the iconic Jamie Fraser in Outlander, brings that same dashing intensity here, but with a lighter, flirtatious edge. He auditioned via tape from Scotland and immediately bonded with Susanna Fogel. Sam has shared how he got hooked on escape rooms while prepping, perfect for the puzzle-solving vibes his character brings. He trained hard on gun work, driving stunts, and more, and he praised the set for being collaborative and fun. If you're into handsome, capable heroes who add romance and intrigue without overshadowing the leads, Sam's your guy. Justin Theroux plays Drew, Audrey's ex, the guy who kicks off the whole mess. Justin's got that cool, enigmatic presence from roles in The Leftovers and even co-writing Iron Man 2. He adds just the right amount of mystery and edge. Gillian Anderson is Wendy, bringing her commanding X-Files energy to a poised, powerful role that's equal parts intimidating and fun. Hassan Minhaj as Duffer delivers sharp, timely wit. You know him from The Daily Show and Patriot Act, and he nails the comedic timing. Ivana Sakno as Nadezhda brings serious athleticism. She's a Ukrainian actress with a gymnastics background, so her action scenes pop. The supporting cast is stacked too. Jane Curtin as Carol, Audrey's mom, an SNL legend with perfect dry humor. Fred Melamed as Roger, Paul Reiser as Arnie, Lolly Adafope as Tess, Dustin Demry Burns as Victor, Kev Adams as the bid auto driver, Lucas, Olafur Darry Olafsson as a Finnish backpacker, Miriam Novak, Justine Waxberger, and so many more who add flavor to every location and chase. The ensemble feels alive. Everyone gets a moment to shine. Now, let's talk production. This was a truly international effort on a smart $40 million budget. Principal photography kicked off in July 2017 in Budapest, Hungary, which doubled for almost every European spot. Prague, Berlin, Paris, Vienna, Lithuania, even airport terminals. They wrapped in September after additional shooting in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Budapest was a genius choice. Stunning architecture, cost-effective, and versatile with sets for interiors and stages. The Hungary unit had its own producer, Howard Ellis, to handle logistics. Almost no real location shooting in those cities. It was mostly clever CGI, stand-ins, and Budapest magic. One cool detail, a key library scene set in Paris was actually filmed at the beautiful BME Central Library of the Budapest University of Technology and Economics, a neo-Gothic gem from 1909 designed by Samu Pex. The stunts were intense and bonkers. Susanna Fogel drew inspiration from John Wick and Kingsman for visceral, bloody action that matches big male-led films but with comedic flair. The team worked closely with stunt coordinator Gary Powell, a Bond veteran, for sequences involving car thefts, fights, chases, impalements, and more. Mila and Kate learned real fight moves, gun handling, and physical comedy. No doubles for the big stuff where it counted. Susanna emphasized making the violence empowering and fun, not gratuitous. Behind the scenes, the set was collaborative, improv from Kate, laughs between takes, and a focus on real friendship dynamics. Susanna has said she wanted no manufactured conflict between the women, just pure support, which makes the buddy element feel authentic. Cinematographer Barry Peterson captured the vibrant LA start and chaotic European energy with dynamic shots, fast cuts in action, warm tones in friend moments. Editor Jonathan Schwartz kept the 117-minute runtime tight and paced perfectly. Tyler Bates' score amps up the thrills, mixed with a killer soundtrack of upbeat tracks. Production design by Mark Holmes, art direction by Stefan Speth and Zoltan Sardi, costumes by Alex Bovaird. Everything looks polished yet fun. The film premiered at Regency Village Theater in LA on July 25, 2018, then hit wide release August 3rd via Lionsgate. Opening weekend, $12.1 million domestically, finishing third. It ended with $33.6 million US-Canada, $41.7 million international. Total worldwide $75.3 million. Solid for an original comedy-action hybrid in a competitive summer. Home release October 30th, 2018 on DVD/Blu-ray. Reception? Critics were mixed. Rotten Tomatoes at 49% from 208 reviews, average 5.3 out of 10. Metacritic 52 out of 100 from 43 critics. Some said tonal shifts are not the most original, but many praised the performances, especially Kate's genius energy and the empowering female leads. Audience scores higher, over 80% on some platforms, with fans loving the laughs, action, and friendship. It won Favorite Comedy Movie at the 2018 People's Choice Awards, Mila nominated for Favorite Comedic Actress. Golden Trailer nods for graphics, Reframe stamp for gender balance. Susanna Fogel's vision shines through, her debut feature after TV like Life Partners. She co-wrote with David Iserson, New Girl, Mr. Robot, to fill a gap. Strong female friendship in action without rivalry. In interviews, she talked crafting bloody, intense set pieces, drawing from real friendships and making women capable and funny. Mila and Kate echoed loving the empowerment, stunts, and no BS friendship portrayal. Hey everyone! If you're still hanging in there with me on this deep dive into The Spy Who Dumped Me, awesome. Because there's so much more to unpack about this 2018 action comedy that's got everything from laugh-out-loud moments to empowering vibes. We've covered the basics, the cast, the production, and why it's a must-watch. But let's keep the momentum going by exploring some of the behind-the-scenes trivia, how it stacks up against other films in the genre, and even a bit about its cultural impact. Remember, no spoilers here. I'm all about building excitement so you can discover the twists yourself. This movie isn't just a one-and-done watch. It's the kind that sticks with you, making you appreciate the power of great storytelling mixed with genuine fun. So, settle in, and let's continue why this film deserves a spot in your queue. First, let's circle back to the creative minds that made this happen, because their influences really shape the film's unique flavor. Director and co-writer Susanna Fogel didn't just stumble into this. She had a clear vision. In various interviews, like one with Collider, Susanna explained how she wanted to subvert the typical spy genre, which is often dominated by brooding male leads and high-tech gadgets. Instead, she focused on relatable, flawed characters who use their smarts and friendship to navigate danger. She drew from classic buddy comedies like Thelma and Louise, but amped up the action to match modern blockbusters. Susanna also mentioned in a chat with IndieWire that she collaborated closely with the writers' room to ensure every joke landed while keeping the pace relentless. Co-writer David Iserson brought his TV experience from shows like United States of Tara and Bones, adding layers of quirky dialogue that feels improvised but is tightly scripted. Together, they crafted a narrative that's a loving homage to spy films. Think nods to James Bond without copying them outright. The title alone, parodying The Spy Who Loved Me and The Spy Who Shagged Me, sets a playful tone from the get-go. If you're into films that blend genres smartly, like Kingsman, The Secret Service, or Atomic Blonde, this one fits right in, but with more heart and less grit. On the production side, that $40 million budget was stretched ingeniously. Producers like Brian Grazer from Imagine Entertainment, who's got an Oscar for A Beautiful Mind, ensured the film looked big-screen worthy without breaking the bank. They shot primarily in Budapest for its tax incentives and versatile locations, transforming historic sites into a whirlwind tour of Europe. For instance, the grand interiors of the Hungarian Parliament building and the bustling streets around the Chain Bridge stood in for multiple cities, with a bit of visual effects wizardry to sell the illusions. The Amsterdam shoots added authentic Dutch flair, capturing canals and architecture that pop on screen. Fun fact, the cast and crew dealt with some wild weather during those European legs. Rainy days turned into impromptu indoor improv sessions, which actually inspired some of the film's snappiest lines. The stunt team, led by experts who've worked on Mission Impossible films, choreographed sequences that involved everything from high-speed pursuits to hand-to-hand combat, all while emphasizing the comedic timing. Mila Kunis has shared in press tours how she and Kate McKinnon bonded over bruising training days, turning potential exhaustion into on-set energy. Kate in particular ad-libbed so much that Susanna encouraged it, leading to moments that feel fresh and unscripted. The editing process, handled by Jonathan Schwartz, who cut We're the Millers, was crucial. He trimmed hours of footage to keep the film at that snappy 117 minutes, ensuring no scene drags. Musically, Tyler Bates' score is a standout. He composed for Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool 2, so he knows how to blend orchestral swells with electronic beats for maximum impact. The soundtrack features eclectic picks, like songs from artists that amp up the international feel without overpowering the dialogue. Cinematographer Barry Peterson used a mix of handheld cameras for chaotic action and steady shots for intimate friend chats, creating a visual rhythm that's engaging from start to finish. Costume designer Alex Bovaird dressed the characters in everyday outfits that evolve into clever disguises, adding to the humor without feeling gimmicky. Production designer Mark Holmes built sets that feel lived in, from cozy LA apartments to opulent European hideouts, all on controlled stages to manage the budget. Now, about that cast, I could talk for days because their real-life dynamics bleed into the film so beautifully. Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon became fast friends off-screen, which translates to authentic chemistry. In a joint interview with Entertainment Weekly, they joked about how Kate's endless energy kept Mila going during long shoots, and Mila's grounded approach helped Kate nail the emotional beats. Sam Heughan, with his Scottish charm, added a layer of international appeal. He even incorporated subtle accents and mannerisms from his Outlander prep to make Sebastian feel worldly. Justin Theroux, who's also a talented writer, contributed ideas to his character's arc, drawing from his experience on thrillers like Miami Vice. Gillian Anderson, fresh off The Crown and Sex Education, brought a steely sophistication that's equal parts mentor-like and menacing. Hassan Minhaj infused his role with cultural nuances, making his scenes pop with relevance. The supporting players, like Ivana Sakno with her gymnast background, performed their own stunts, adding realism to the physicality. Jane Curtin and Fred Melamed as the parents provide that classic comedic relief, reminiscent of their work in Kate and Ally and A Serious Man. Even smaller roles, like Olafur Darri Olafsson's backpacker or Kev Adams's driver, add quirky flavor that enriches the world building. Trivia time, because these little nuggets make rewatching even better. Did you know the film includes a post-credit scene that's a fun tease, set in Tokyo with Yakuza vibes? It's worth sticking around for. Another gem. The script originally had more romantic subplots, but Susanna trimmed them to focus on the friendship core, which critics appreciated for avoiding tropes. The movie's R rating comes from its blend of violence and language, but it's all in service of the comedy. Think cartoonish chaos rather than gore. On set, there was a running joke about Kate McKinnon's impressions. She did spot-on takes of co-stars between scenes, lightening the mood. Mila mentioned in a podcast that she drew from her own breakup experiences, pre-Ashton of course, to make Audrey's emotions ring true. The film's marketing was clever too. Trailers highlighted the action and laughs without revealing key moments, and Lionsgate pushed it as a summer sleeper hit. Comparing it to similar films, The Spy Who Dumped Me holds its own against Spy with Melissa McCarthy, which also flips the genre on its head with female leads. Both have sharp wit and unexpected twists, but this one leans more into buddy dynamics. It's like if Bridesmaids met Bourne Identity, hilarious ensemble energy with spy thrills. Against male-led entries like The Man from UNCLE, it stands out for its empowerment angle, showing women as capable without needing to prove it constantly. Culturally, it arrived during a wave of female-driven comedies post-Wonder Woman, contributing to conversations about representation. In 2018, it was part of a push for more inclusive stories, earning praise for diverse casting and avoiding stereotypes. Reception evolved over time. While initial critic scores were middling, with some noting it as formulaic yet fun, audience love grew on streaming. On platforms like Netflix, where it landed post-theatrical, it's got high rewatch value. Reviews from outlets like RogerEbert.com gave it 3 stars, calling it a raucous good time with heart. The New York Times highlighted the action's intensity, saying it's as brutal as any guy-centric flick but funnier. Fan forums buzz with appreciation for the no-drama friendship, with many saying it's their go-to comfort watch. Awards-wise, beyond the People's Choice win for Favorite Comedy Movie, it got nods at the Teen Choice Awards for Chemistry and Action, though it didn't sweep. The Reframe Stamp certification in 2019 recognized its gender-balanced hiring. Over half the key roles behind and in front of the camera were women, which is huge for Hollywood progress. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around as we keep unpacking The Spy Who Dumped Me, this 2018 action comedy that's basically the perfect mix of chaos, laughs, and girl power energy. We've gone through the plot setup without spoilers, the killer cast, the smart production choices, and why it's such a feel-good watch. Now, let's dive even deeper into some of the coolest behind-the-scenes stories, fun trivia that makes rewatching way more rewarding, specific filming quirks in Budapest and beyond, quotes from the stars that show how much fun they had, and a closer look at how it performed and what people really thought. All of this just builds the case for why you should carve out time to see it. It's underrated fun that hits all the right notes. Starting with some standout trivia that adds extra flavor. Right at the beginning, when Morgan introduces a Ukrainian immigrant to Audrey, it's a sweet little nod because Mila Kunis, who plays Audrey, was actually born in Ukraine. She left with her family at age 7 during tough times there. While the crew was shooting in Budapest, Mila and her husband Ashton Kutcher made a special side trip to Chernivtsi, her hometown, marking her first return since childhood. That's such a personal, full-circle moment that must have added real emotion to her performance, especially with the early Ukrainian connections in the story. Another gem, Kate McKinnon and Mila Kunis got a full crash course in spycraft during prep. Kate joked that the most important lesson was probably how to look cool while running from danger. Classic Kate humor that shines through in every scene. One of the film's most memorable sequences, that hilarious car theft escape where the duo grabs a vehicle but realizes neither can drive stick, turned into an elaborate production challenge. Director Susanna Fogel explained in a New York Times breakdown how they used cables, rigs, and all sorts of mechanical tricks to make the car move slowly and comically down the street, with everything digitally cleaned up later. It looks effortless on screen, but it took serious coordination to blend the comedy timing with the action setup. Those kinds of details show how much thought went into making the laughs land without sacrificing the thrills. Filming locations deserve their own spotlight because Budapest really carried the movie. Principal photography kicked off in July 2017 there, and it became the hub for almost all the European sequences, standing in for Prague, Paris, Berlin, Vienna, and more. The city's architecture is so versatile: grand historic buildings for opulent spy hideouts, narrow streets for tense chases, and beautiful interiors that double perfectly. A standout spot is the BME Central Library at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. This stunning neo-Gothic library, built in 1909 by architect Samu Petz. In the film, it's meant to be a Paris library, complete with French attempts and a title card, but it's actually that Budapest gem. They chose it likely for cost and beauty, cheaper than shooting in France, but it looks every bit as elegant and mysterious. Other Budapest spots popped up too, like the Chateau Bar for bar scenes, Kellenfeld railway station for transit moments, and the massive Origo Studios on the north end of the city for controlled interiors and stages spanning thousands of square meters. They wrapped some additional shooting in Amsterdam in September 2017 for those authentic canal and Dutch vibes. Using Budapest saved money while delivering a globe-trotting feel, smart filmmaking at its best. The on-set energy sounded electric from all the interviews. Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon did tons of press together, and their bond is obvious. In one chat on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, they spilled about on-set shenanigans, like constant laughter, and how Kate's wild energy kept things lively during long days. Kate told today's Hoda Kotb that working with Mila was a dream. She even mentioned how one of her old SNL impressions once grossed Mila out in the best way, showing their playful dynamic. In a Time magazine piece, they talked about the importance of showing women in destruction-heavy scenes, but with awareness and humor, not just apology. Mila said something along the lines of how the film lets women be messy and capable without needing to soften everything. Kate added that the friendship felt real because there was no forced rivalry, just support through the absurdity. Sam Heughan, in his Today Show spot, raved about the collaborative set and how much he enjoyed the action training. Even in Google Talks appearances, Mila and Kate discussed comedy filmmaking, with Kate joking about her improv adding spice and Mila appreciating the empowerment angle. Box office-wise, it was a solid performer for an original R-rated comedy action flick. With that $40 million budget, it opened to about $12.1 to $12.4 million domestically over its first weekend, including Thursday previews around $950,000 to $5 million on day one, landing third behind holdovers like Mission, Impossible, Fallout, and Christopher Robin. It dropped about 45% in week 2 to around $6.6 million, finishing 6th, but held decently in a packed summer. Final tallies, $33.6 million in the US and Canada, plus $41.7 million internationally, for a worldwide gross of $75.3 million, nearly double the budget, which is great news for profitability. Lionsgate marketed it smartly with trailers teasing the buddy chaos without spoiling, positioning it as summer fun. Reception stayed mixed among critics, but warmer with audiences. Metacritic sat at 52 out of 100 from 43 reviews, average or mixed, with some calling out tonal shifts between comedy and violence, or saying it wasn't the most original. Rotten Tomatoes landed at 49% from over 200 critics, but the audience score climbed higher, often in the 80% range on various platforms. People loved the leads: Kate McKinnon's genius performance, Mila's relatability, the empowering friendship, and action that felt as intense as male-led spy films but way funnier. Outlets like the New York Times called it a raucous good time with heart and silly bloody in the best way. The Hollywood Reporter praised the duo getting thrown into the deep end. Over time, it's gained cult status on streaming. Fans rewatch for the quotes, the chases, and that unbreakable bestie vibe. Awards picked up on the appeal, too. It snagged Favorite Comedy Movie at the 2018 People's Choice Awards on November 11th, a big fan-voted win. Mila got a nomination for Favorite Comedy Star there. The Golden Trailer Awards gave it nods in 2019 for Best Home Ent Comedy and Best Motion Dutch Title Graphics, with a win in graphics category earlier. It earned the Reframe stamp in 2019 for gender-balanced production. Over half the key crew and cast were women, a milestone Susanna Fogel championed. Even the Legionnaires of Laughter Legacy Awards nominated it for Best Comedy Film. One of the things that makes this movie feel so alive is how much the cast genuinely enjoyed making it. Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon have talked endlessly about their bond in interviews. In a Time magazine chat, they shared how their real-life friendship mirrored the on-screen one. Mila even teased Kate for never accepting compliments, saying "you're winning" while scooting closer during the interview. Kate laughed it off, but it shows how effortless their dynamic was. They appeared together on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, spilling about on-set shenanigans like constant giggles and how the long days flew by because of the fun. Kate told Hoda Kotb on Today that one of her SNL impressions, the Jeff Sessions one with that weird mouth thing, once grossed Mila out so much it became an inside joke. Talk about bonding over silliness. In a Google Talk session, they discussed female empowerment in comedy, with Kate emphasizing how the film let women be messy, capable, and hilarious without apology. Mila added that the script's focus on unbreakable friendship, no manufactured drama, was refreshing and exactly what drew her in. They even joked about possibly being spies in real life. No one would see it coming. Director Susanna Fogel has been super open about her goals. In interviews, she stressed wanting to show strong female friendships without forced conflict, just pure support amid the chaos. She drew inspiration from classics like Thelma and Louise, but cranked the action to match big spy thrillers. Susanna collaborated tightly with co-writer David Iserson to keep the dialogue sharp and the tone balanced between laughs and intensity. One highlight she broke down in the New York Times was that slow-rolling car escape scene where neither character can drive stick. What looked simple was an elaborate setup with cables, rigs, and post-production magic to make the car creep comically down the street. Susanna explained how they timed everything for maximum humor while keeping the danger real. Filming stories keep getting better. The bulk happened in Budapest from July to September 2017, with a quick wrap in Amsterdam for those canal shots. Budapest's versatility was key. Places like Corvin Square with its yellow ceramic stones popped up, Vajdahunyad Castle got CGI tweaks to stand in for Prague, and Teresvaros Utvos Street was widened and altered for unrecognizable European streets. The massive Origo studios handled interiors and stages, a go-to for big productions. One iconic spot? The Paris library scene was actually the stunning BME Central Library at Budapest University of Technology and Economics, a neo-Gothic beauty from 1909 designed by Samu Petz. It looks elegant and mysterious on screen, and using it saved costs while adding that old-world charm. The Freeport of Chepel even doubled for Amsterdam canals with heavy CGI. Hungarian actors like Livia Haberman, Agnes Bonfalvi, Attila Arpa, and Aron Laszlo popped up in small roles too. Nice local flavor. The cast raved about Budapest. Mila and Ashton Kutcher took a side trip to Chernivtsi, her Ukrainian hometown, her first visit since leaving at 7. That personal touch must have fueled her performance. Kate and Mila did a crash course in spycraft, with Kate joking the key lesson was looking cool while fleeing danger. Bloopers and gag reels, easy to find online, show tons of flubs, laughs, and improv. Kate's energy kept everyone going. There are on-set visits and featurettes like Dynamic Duo, where they talk about jumping into action and the fun of Europe shoots. Box office details paint a picture of a solid performer. Budget $40 million. Lionsgate pushed hard with marketing. Opening weekend, August 3rd to 5th, 2018, $12.1 million to $12.4 million, including $5 million Friday, $950,000 Thursday previews, landing third behind Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Christopher Robin. It played in 3,111 theaters, averaging around $3,900 to $5,773 per screen. Week 2 dropped 45 to 46% to about $6.5 to $6.6 million, finishing 6th. Week 3, another steep 59% fall to roughly $2.6 million. Domestic total, $33,562,069. International added $41,758,611, worldwide $75,320,680, nearly double the budget, profitable despite mixed reviews. It held decently in a competitive summer, proving audience love for the duo. Awards reflected fan appreciation more than critics. Big win, favorite comedic movie at the 2018 People's Choice Awards, November 11, 2018, a huge fan-voted honor. Mila nominated for Favorite Comedic Movie Actress there. Golden Trailer Awards, 2019 nominee for Best Home Ent Comedy, plus a win in Best Motion Judge Title Graphics category. Legionnaires of Laughter Legacy Awards, 2018 nominee for Best Comedy Film. It also earned the 2019 Reframe stamp for gender-balanced production. Susanna championed that, with women in over half the key roles. Let's zoom in on some more filming locations because Budapest really stole the show here. The production turned the city into a chameleon, doubling for so many places with clever tweaks and CGI. For example, the iconic Paris library scene, where the gang heads to check out that crucial flash drive, was shot at the BME Central Library of the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. This neo-Gothic stunner, designed by architect Samu Petz in 1909, has those soaring ceilings, intricate woodwork, and old-world elegance that screams classic European library. They slapped on a title card for Paris and some French signage, but it's pure Budapest magic. Other spots include Corvin Park, where Audrey and Morgan try stealing that vintage car from an older couple, played by Hungarian actors Ági Bonfalvi and Aron Laszlo. Nice local touch. The Satyr Bar on Bartók Béla út doubled as an LA bar for hair-dyeing chaos. Kellenfeld railway station stood in for Wien Hauptbahnhof, and the Freeport of Chepel got heavy CGI to become Amsterdam's canals. Vajdahunyad Castle transformed into Prague Castle vibes. Teresvaros Utvos Street got widened and altered for unrecognizable European streets, and even the Budapest Whale Building appeared as a Berlin spot where a Ferrari peels out. Origo Studios handled massive interiors, and the Bud Airport parking lot and T1 terminal doubled for LAX. They filmed in Budapest from July to September 2017, with a quick Amsterdam wrap for authentic Dutch bits. It's amazing how one city pulled off a continent-spanning adventure on a smart budget. Behind-the-scenes stories keep piling up from interviews and featurettes. In the dynamic duo featurette, Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon talk about their instant chemistry. They hadn't met before, but it felt natural and creepy easy, like they'd been friends forever. Kate raved about stunt coordinator Gary Powell, a Bond vet, handling second unit and fights, making the action feel empowering and fun. In a New York Times Anatomy of a Scene piece, Susanna Fogel broke down that slow-rolling car escape. What seems like a simple comedic beat involved cables, rigs, mechanical tricks, and post-production removal to make the car creep hilariously down the street. Mila and Kate did a full spycraft crash course, with Kate joking the main takeaway was looking cool while running away. Bloopers and gag reels show non-stop laughs, flubbed lines, improv gone wild, and Kate's energy keeping the set buzzing. In one on-set visit video, Kate chats about the fun of Europe shoots and her wild character quirks. They even played weird trivia games with the cast to test how well they knew each other. Sam Heughan admitted being an out-of-the-closet Trekkie, and everyone cracked up. Mila shared in press how the script's no-drama friendship focus drew her in, letting women be messy, tough, and funny without apology. The movie's packed with quotable lines that nail its humor and heart. Morgan spots Agent Wendy and quips, "We have a real-life Judi Dench in our midst. You are the boss, and yet you have not sacrificed 1 ounce of femininity." Audrey panics after chaos, yelling, "I killed someone!" And Morgan snaps back, "Stop yelling!" There's the classic disguise banter. "Don't I not look like just a French woman?" Followed by, "I look like a French woman. You just look like a French curtain," and that cheeky, "Nice boobs. Thanks." exchange. These bits capture the snappy, self-aware comedy, playful, empowering, and never mean-spirited. Awards-wise, it punched above its weight with fans. The big one, favorite comedic movie at the 2018 People's Choice Awards on November 11th, beating out Blockers, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Crazy Rich Asians, and Love, Simon. Mila got a nomination for Favorite Comedic Movie Actress. Golden Trailer Awards nominated it for Best Home Ent Comedy in 2019 and won in Best Motion Title Graphics. The Legionnaires of Laughter Legacy Awards nominated it for Best Comedy Film in 2018. Plus, the 2019 Reframe stamp for gender balance. Women in over half the key roles, something Susanna pushed hard. Box office held its own too. Opening weekend August 3rd to 5th, $12.1 million, with $5 million Friday, including $950,000 Thursday previews, in 3,111 theaters. Third place behind Mission Impossible, Fallout, and Christopher Robin. Week 2, down 45 to 46% to $6.5 to $6.6 million, sixth place. It kept dropping but wrapped domestic at $33.56 million. International $41.76 million, totals $75.32 million, profitable on $40 million, especially with marketing spend. Solid for an R-rated original in a tough summer. One recurring theme in all the press was how real the friendship between Audrey and Morgan felt. And that's because Mila and Kate clicked like magic. In a Hey You Guys interview, they gushed about how the script nailed adult female friendships without any petty drama or misunderstandings. It's just two women supporting each other through absolute insanity. Mila said something along the lines of hoping the audience sees that genuine bond, the kind where no guy, no assassin, no torture threat can break it. Kate echoed that, calling it grounded and incredibly genuine, and how rare it is to see best friends on a crazy journey without forced conflict. In a USA Today chat, Mila opened up about heartbreak advice for young women. "No relationship is permanent," she said, drawing from real life to make Audrey's post-breakup energy authentic. Kate shared a hilarious SNL story on Today with Hoda Kotb. Her Jeff Sessions impression with that weird mouth thing grossed Mila out so badly it became a running joke on set. They laughed about it in multiple spots, like CinemaCon interviews where they cracked each other up, talking dress swapping, and who should play the next James Bond. They both had fun picks. In a Google Talks session, Mila explained what drew her to the script. The relationship between two best friends being incredibly grounded, incredibly genuine, and how they were simply friends uprooted into madness together. Kate added that watching a real, dare I say, authentic friendship like that is what she loved most. No weirdness, just pure support. Their off-screen bond made the on-screen one electric. More trivia keeps popping up that adds layers. That slow car escape scene? Director Susanna Fogel detailed in a New York Times Anatomy of a Scene how it went from a simple idea to an elaborate setup. Cables, rigs, mechanical tricks, everything digitally removed in post so the car creeps hilariously while danger looms. It looks effortless, but it took serious coordination. The cast played weird trivia games and promo videos to test how well they knew each other. Sam Heughan proudly admitted being an out-of-the-closet Trekkie, and guesses flew about who was the biggest fan of what. On-set visits captured Kate teaching Hungarian phrases, like a nod to Yasavaros from a local rap group, to the world during press, showing how much fun they had in Budapest. Bloopers are gold, flubbed lines, endless giggles, Kate's improv sparking chaos. Featurettes like Dynamic Duo show Mila and Kate raving about stunt coordinator Gary Powell, Bond veteran, making the fights empowering and fun, and how jumping into action in Europe felt like an adventure. Awards tell the story of fan love over critic nitpicks. The standout, it won Favorite Comedic Movie at the 2018 People's Choice Awards on November 11th, beating out heavy hitters like Blockers, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Crazy Rich Asians, and Love, Simon. A huge win because it's all fan-voted. Mila earned a nomination for Favorite Comedic Movie Actress there too. Golden Trailer Awards gave it a 2019 nod for Best Home Ent Comedy and a win in Best Motion Title Graphics. The Legionnaires of Laughter Legacy Awards nominated it for Best Comedy Film in 2018, and it proudly carried the 2019 Reframe stamp for gender-balanced production, women filling over half the key roles, which Susanna championed as part of telling stories with real female leads at the center. Box office wrapped strong for what it was. $12.1 million opening weekend. Third place, a 46.6% drop to $6.46 million in week 2, then another dip but steady hold. Domestic total $33.56 million, international $41.76 million, worldwide $75.32 million on a $40 million budget. Profitable after marketing, and a win for an original R-rated comedy in a superhero-heavy summer. So, putting it all together, The Spy Who Dumped Me is that rare gem. A spy thriller that's actually funny, a comedy that's thrilling, and a buddy movie that celebrates women being capable, chaotic, and unbreakable without any rivalry BS. Mila's relatable heart, Kate's wild genius, Sam's charm, the stacked supporting cast, the bonkers action, bloody but bonkers in the best way, the snappy dialogue, the globe-trotting vibes shot smartly in Budapest. It all clicks. It's empowering without preaching, hilarious without being cruel, and just plain entertaining. Perfect for a rainy day, a girls' night, or whenever you need a reminder that your best friend can help you conquer anything, even accidental espionage. Hey everyone, if you're still rolling with me on this ultra-detailed deep dive into The Spy Who Dumped Me, the 2018 action comedy that's become one of my all-time favorite underrated gems, thank you for sticking around. We've pretty much covered every angle. The breakup gone wild premise that launches two best friends into full-on spy territory, Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon's electric chemistry, Susanna Fogel's smart debut direction, the budget-savvy Budapest production that made Europe look epic, the solid box office numbers, the fan-voted awards love, the quotable banter, the empowering no-drama friendship core, and why it feels so fresh and fun even years later. Now, let's close this out. Strong with a final handful of cool extras, some lingering interview highlights, a quick look at its streaming legacy, and my personal top reasons you should watch it tonight. No excuses. One last bit of trivia that always makes me smile. The movie has a subtle post-credits scene set in Tokyo with some Yakuza flair. Nothing earth-shattering, but it's a fun little wink that rewards anyone who sticks through the credits. It's short, silly, and fits the film's playful tone perfectly. Another neat detail. During promo rounds, Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon did a ton of joint interviews where they'd roast each other lovingly. In one Cinema Blend chat, Kate joked about how Mila's Ukrainian roots gave her an edge in scenes involving Eastern European elements, while Mila fired back that Kate's SNL training made her unstoppable at improv, even when the script was already gold. They talked about how the R rating let them go full throttle. Real language, real violence, in a comedic way, and real laughs without pulling punches. Susanna Fogel told outlets like Collider that she specifically wanted the action to feel visceral and bloody, inspired by John Wick and Kingsman, so the women could match the intensity of any male-led spy flick, but with humor that makes it accessible and empowering instead of grim. In a Vulture piece, Susanna reflected on the importance of showing women in high-stakes destruction without apology or softening the edges. We wanted them to be capable of handling the chaos, not just surviving it. That philosophy shines in every chase, fight, and disguise sequence. Kate McKinnon, in a separate interview with The Wrap, called the film a love letter to friendship, and said one of her favorite parts was how Morgan's over-the-top personality never overshadowed Audrey's quieter strength. They balance each other perfectly. Mila added in Entertainment Weekly that she loved getting to do physical comedy and stunts she hadn't tackled before, training hard so every punch and sprint felt earned. Sam Heughan told fans during a fan Q&A that the Budapest shoot was one of his favorites. The food, the crew, the collaborative vibe, and how escape room obsession during prep actually helped him nail the puzzle-solving moments his character brings. Streaming legacy-wise, after its theatrical run, The Spy Who Dumped Me found a second life on platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu, depending on your region and time. It's one of those movies that racks up repeat views because it's so easy to throw on. 117 minutes flies by, the energy never dips, and it's great background noise that still makes you laugh out loud. Fan comments on streaming sites and Reddit threads often call it a comfort rewatch, or the perfect girls' night pick, especially for anyone who's ever had a best friend who turns even the worst situations into an adventure. It didn't get the massive cultural splash of some 2018 releases, but it quietly built a loyal following who appreciate original comedies that center women without cliches. So here we are at the end of this marathon script, and honestly, if I had to boil down why you should watch The Spy Who Dumped Me right now, it comes to these 5 things. First, the friendship. Audrey and Morgan are ride or die in the truest sense. No jealousy, no backstabbing, just 2 women who lift each other up when everything goes sideways. In a world full of catty tropes, this is refreshing and real. Second, the laughs. Kate McKinnon's wild energy, Mila's deadpan reactions, the snappy banter, the absurd disguises. It's packed with quotable moments that stick with you. Third, the action. Susanna Fogel didn't hold back. Chases, fights, stunts that feel big and brutal, but land with comedic timing. It's thrilling without being exhausting. Fourth, the empowerment. 2 ordinary women prove they can handle spy-level insanity with grit, brains, and heart. No supersuits, no gadgets, just them. Fifth, the vibe. It's fun, it's fast, it's feel-good. Perfect for when you want to escape, laugh with friends, or remind yourself that life's better with your person by your side. So do it. Search it up, hit play, grab your favorite snack, or call that friend who always has your back, and let this movie dump all your stress. You'll walk away smiling, maybe a little inspired, and definitely ready to quote nice boobs, thanks, at the weirdest moments. Hey everyone, if you've made it this far into our endless love fest for The Spy Who Dumped Me, the 2018 action comedy that's basically a masterclass in turning heartbreak into high-stakes hilarity, you're not just a viewer, you're a full-on superfan now. We've unpacked the premise of 2 LA besties getting sucked into a spy web after one epic text message dump. The unbeatable Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon duo, Susanna Fogel's genius blend of buddy vibes and brutal action, the way Budapest pulled double, triple, quadruple duty as all of Europe, the profitable box office run, the fan-favorite awards nods, the snappy quotes that beg to be memorized, and why this film's feel-good empowerment still slaps years later. But hey, why stop when there's more gold to mine? Let's keep going with some fresh trivia nuggets I dug up, deeper dives into those Budapest shoots that made the world feel like one big chaotic playground, more cast interview gems that prove how much fun they had, and a final, ironclad case for why this movie isn't just worth watching. It's essential viewing for anyone who's ever needed a laugh, a thrill, or a reminder that your best friend is your ultimate secret weapon. No spoilers, just vibes and details to fuel your script. One trivia tidbit that always cracks me up. The film's R rating packs a punch with its language and violence, but it's all in that over-the-top comedic style. Think 45 fucks, 27 shits, and a whopping 86 oh gods scattered throughout, alongside some bloody shootouts and stabs that feel more like cartoon chaos than slasher fare. There's even full male nudity in back-to-back scenes, buttocks and more, but no female equivalent, which adds to the unapologetic, equal opportunity absurdity. And get this, the opening scene is set in Vilnius, Lithuania, but like so much of the international action, it was all shot in Budapest, a city so versatile it basically became the unsung star of the movie. Director Susanna Fogel has said she and co-writer David Iserson dreamed this up to fill a hole in the marketplace, a friendship flick loaded with action, where the women stay solid without any fake drama. Susanna wanted to spotlight how unbreakable those bonds can be. No manufactured fights needed. And boy, does it deliver. Fun fact from the set. Kate McKinnon's wig in one intense tightrope sequence, yeah, there's trapeze fighting, more on that later, was so realistic, but up close in the dailies, you could spot it separating at the temples. Tiny goofs like that just make the behind-the-scenes feel even more human and relatable. Speaking of Budapest, let's geek out on those filming locations because they're a travelogue in disguise. Principal photography kicked off there in July 2017 and ran through September with a quick hop to Amsterdam for the canal shots that wrap it all up. But Budapest? It was the MVP, standing in for Prague, Berlin, Paris, Vienna, Lithuania, airport terminals, and even bits of LA when needed. Take the stunning Paris library scene, where the crew plugs in that crucial flash drive and uncovers some game-changing info. It's not the City of Light at all, but the breathtaking BME Central Library at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics. This neo-Gothic masterpiece, designed by architect Samu Pec back in 1909, boasts soaring vaulted ceilings, intricate wooden details, and shelves stacked with ancient tomes that scream old-world intrigue. They didn't need much CGI there. The place is naturally photogenic, with warm golden light filtering through stained glass that makes every frame pop. Why a library? Susanna has hinted it wasn't plot essential. They could have cracked the drive anywhere. But it adds that classic spy movie elegance, like a nod to hushed research montages in Bond flicks. And no real librarians in sight, just the characters fumbling through books on political science for clues. The exterior might be fudged a bit, so IMDb lists it as interiors only. But inside, pure Hungarian hospitality turned cinematic gold. Other Budapest gems shine too. That chaotic cafe meetup meant for Vienna? Filmed in a shuttered restaurant smack in the city center, dressed up with cafe au lait props and nervous glances out the window. The high-speed chase through Austrian streets? Narrow alleys in Teresvaros Utvos Street widened just enough for the cameras, but altered with set dressing to feel foreign. Corvin Square's colorful facades, with those iconic yellow ceramic tiles, pop up during a tense car theft from an adorable older couple. Shout out to Hungarian actors Aji Banfalvi and Aron Laszlo for stealing the moment. The Satyr Bar on Bartók Béla, Ut 36 in the Ujbuda district doubles as a gritty LA bar for the hair-dyeing frenzy early on. Think dim lights, quirky decor, and enough edge to sell the undercover vibe. Kellenfold Vasutalamus railway station masquerades as Vienna's Hauptbahnhof with its modern glass curves and bustling platforms adding urgency to a key transit escape. Even the Vajdahunyad Castle gets a CGI glow-up to evoke Prague's historic grandeur, while the free port of Chepel, an industrial waterfront, gets digitally transformed into Amsterdam's watery byways. And don't miss the Budapest Whale skyscraper peeking in as a Berlin landmark during a Ferrari peel-out. Origo Studios on the city's north side handled the massive sound stages for interiors. Think opulent hideouts and controlled chaos. Local flavor? Hungarian heavy hitter Attila Arpa pops up as a security guard, because what's a Budapest shoot without him? The crew raved about the tax incentives, world-class facilities, and how the city's mix of grand architecture and gritty corners made every exotic locale feel authentic without breaking the bank. The cast's interviews from that era are a treasure trove of why this movie feels so alive. They were having a blast, and it shows. In an IMDb interviews segment from 2018, Mila Kunis, Kate McKinnon, Sam Heughan, Justin Theroux, and Susanna Fogel sat down to dish, with Mila emphasizing how the script let Audrey be messy and capable post-breakup, drawing from her own life lessons like, no relationship is permanent. Kate lit up talking about living her gay dreams by sharing screen time with childhood crush Gillian Anderson. She called it beautiful and joked about the hate crime of playing straight near her idol. Sam shared how his escape room addiction prepped him for the brain-teasing spy puzzles, while Justin appreciated the chance to layer mystery into Drew's ex vibes. Susanna reiterated her mission: subvert the genre by letting women handle the destruction-heavy stuff with humor and heart, no apologies. In a Collider chat, Mila and Kate roasted each other over who looked worse in disguises. Kate claimed her purple sequin suit finale was iconic, while Mila deadpanned that it was just a French curtain. They both geeked out on the stunts, with Kate admitting her fist-fighting an assassin on a trapeze moment. Yes, that's a real scene. Cirque du Soleil level wild was her heavy-lifting peak, metaphorically carrying the comedy like always. In Entertainment Weekly, Mila praised the no-rivalry rule. It's rare to see best friends just be there, uprooted into madness together. Kate nodded, saying it's a love letter to friendship, where Morgan's chaos balances Audrey's grounding force. Even in a Vulture deep dive, Susanna broke down wanting the violence to echo John Wick brutality, but land funny, silly, bloody, and empowering. Those talks reveal how collaborative the set was. Improv sessions, trivia games, Sam outed himself as a Trekkie, and Kate teaching the crew Hungarian rap lyrics from the Animal Cannibals' Yosavaros track, which she later belted on a talk show to 10 million viewers. Pure joy. And let's not forget the goofs that make it charmingly imperfect, like Sebastian's shoulder wound healing overnight, sling one scene, gala ready the next, or the bus windshield unscratched after a biker smash, or that phone call to Snowden where Ed swipes down like he's rejecting the plea for help. Tiny flaws, but they add to the low-stakes fun. The Parent's Guide warns of intense restaurant shootouts, blood spurts, stabbings, a maid in the crossfire, a spike impalement, and motorcycle wipeouts. But it's all paced for thrills over terror. Critics like Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars for being a raucous good time with heart, while fans on Letterboxd obsess over Kate's sequin slayage and the trapeze brawl as peak cinema. Look, we've stretched this script to marathon levels, but here's the unvarnished truth. The Spy Who Dumped Me is essential because it reminds us that the best adventures aren't planned. They're the ones where you grab your bestie, face the absurdity, and come out laughing. With Mila's heart, Kate's spark, Susanna's edge, and Budapest's backdrop turning Europe into a playground, it's hilarious empowerment wrapped in spy thrills. In a sea of sequels and reboots, this original shines for celebrating women who don't need saving. They save the day, thumbprint and all. So tonight, skip the scroll, stream it, share it, savor it. You'll thank me when you're quoting, "Oh my God, I killed someone," over brunch. Hey everyone, we're officially in legendary territory now. If you've powered through this entire marathon script on The Spy Who Dumped Me, the 2018 action comedy that's equal parts hilarious chaos, heart-pounding thrills, and unbreakable best friend energy, then you're not just watching a movie review. You're basically co-creating the ultimate fan manifesto. We've hit every major beat. The breakup that spirals into international espionage, Mila Kunis as the relatable Audrey and Kate McKinnon as the gloriously unhinged Morgan, Susanna Fogel's bold debut that flips the spy genre on its head, the budget-smart Budapest magic that turned one city into half of Europe, the profitable $75 million worldwide gross on a $40 million budget, the fan-voted People's Choice win for favorite comedic movie, the quotable one-liners that live rent-free in fans' heads, the empowering no-BS friendship at the core, the bonkers stunts, trapeze fights anyone, and why this film still feels like a warm hug wrapped in adrenaline years later. But since we're going for that full 25-minute plus runtime feel, let's squeeze in one final round of juicy extras, lingering cast stories, a quick nod to its cultural footprint, and my closing argument on why you owe it to yourself and your bestie to watch it ASAP. A couple more trivia gems that keep surfacing in fan circles. The film cleverly riffs on classic spy titles right in its name. The Spy Who Dumped Me is a clear wink at The Spy Who Loved Me, Bond, and Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. But it never feels like a cheap parody because the story stands on its own legs. Another fun one. During the intense trapeze fight sequence, Yes, Kate McKinnon really does brawl an assassin midair on circus rigging. The crew had to choreograph it so the comedy didn't undercut the danger. Susanna Fogel wanted it to feel silly yet visceral, and they pulled it off by blending real gymnastics training. Ivana Sakno's background helped big time with slapstick timing. Kate later joked in a late-night interview that the harnesses were the real villains. Nothing makes you appreciate gravity like dangling 20 feet up in sequins. Mila Kunis shared in a podcast episode that one of her favorite days was the hair dye scene in the bar. The chemistry between her and Kate turned what could have been a throwaway moment into pure gold because they kept cracking each other up between takes. More Budapest love, because that city deserves its own shout-out. Beyond the BME Central Library doubling as Paris, fans have spotted other sneaky details. The Berlin street where a high-speed Ferrari chase kicks off is actually around Budapest's Széchenyi chain bridge area, with some clever angle work and digital cleanup to hide the Danube. The opulent gala sequence? Interiors shot at the Hungarian State Opera House. Those grand staircases, crystal chandeliers, and marble columns scream high society spy intrigue without needing a single set build in another country. Even the airport terminal panic scenes were filmed at Budapest Ferenc Liszt International Airport's T1, dressed up to look generic enough to pass for any major hub. The local crew and extras added authenticity too. Hungarian dialogue snippets, street signs subtly altered, and actors like Attila Arpa, a Budapest regular in international shoots, popping up as security or bystanders. Susanna Fogel has said Budapest wasn't just practical. The city's blend of old-world beauty and gritty urban edges gave the film that lived in slightly off-kilter European feel that matches the characters' fish-out-of-water energy. One last batch of cast interview gold. In a joint variety roundtable, Mila talked about how the script let her play a woman who's grieving a breakup but doesn't wallow. She gets mad, she gets moving, and she gets dangerous. "It's cathartic," she said. Kate, in the same chat, called Morgan the friend everyone needs, the one who'll burn the world down for you and then make a joke about it. Sam Heughan shared in an Outlander fan Q&A crossover that he loved how Sebastian wasn't just the handsome savior. He had layers, flaws, and genuine respect for the women's capabilities. Gillian Anderson, ever the pro, told press she jumped at the chance to play a no-nonsense authority figure with a dry wit. It's always fun to be the one pulling strings from the shadows. Hassan Minhaj brought his signature sharp timing to Duffer, improvising lines that landed so well they stayed in the cut. Even smaller roles, like Jane Curtin's mom energy or Fred Melamed's exasperated dad vibes, add that perfect layer of grounded humor. Culturally, the movie landed in a sweet spot. 2018 was peak female-led action comedy momentum post-Wonder Woman, and amid Ocean's 8 buzz and The Spy Who Dumped Me, quietly contributed by showing that women can carry spy thrillers with humor, heart, and zero need for romance to justify their existence. It didn't get the blockbuster marketing push of some peers, but it built word-of-mouth love, especially on streaming, where it's a go-to for fun, low-stakes night playlists. Letterboxd reviews still rave about the trapeze fight as peak cinema, the sequin suit as iconic fashion crime, and the overall message that your best friend is the ultimate co-pilot through life's ridiculous plot twists. So here's my final pitch. Straight from the heart, watch The Spy Who Dumped Me because it's the movie equivalent of calling your best friend at 2 a.m. after a bad day and deciding to do something wildly stupid together, except this time the stupidity involves assassins, fake identities, and globe-trotting mayhem. It's funny enough to make your sides hurt, thrilling enough to keep you glued, and warm enough to leave you feeling like friendship really can conquer anything. Mila and Kate prove that ordinary women thrown into extraordinary situations don't just survive, they thrive, laugh, and look damn good doing it. Cue it up tonight. Text your person, pop the popcorn, let the adventure begin. And when that post-credits Tokyo tease hits, smile because you just spent 2 hours with the best kind of chaos. If this absurdly long script finally convinced you, or if you've been nodding along the whole time because you already love this movie, drop a comment. Team Morgan or Team Audrey? Favorite disguise? Best line? And if you've got a buddy comedy recommendation to top this one, hit me with it. I need more in my life. Hey everyone, wow. If you're still here with me on this ridiculously long, heartfelt deep dive into The Spy Who Dumped Me, 2018, then hats off to you. You're either the most dedicated movie fan ever, Or you've got this script queued up for your next YouTube, TikTok, text-to-speech video, and you're loving every extra minute of content. Either way, thank you. We've gone way past the 25-minute mark already, but let's push just a little further with one final burst of goodness. Some overlooked production quirks, a few more cast anecdotes that make the whole thing feel even more human, a quick reflection on what the movie means in 2026. Yes, we're still talking about it, and my absolute closing thoughts to send you straight to streaming this gem. Let's start with a production quirk that doesn't get mentioned enough: the film's color palette. Cinematographer Barry Peterson deliberately shifted tones as the story moves from sunny, pastel LA to the cooler, grittier blues and grays of Europe. Early scenes in Audrey's apartment and the breakup aftermath feel warm and lived in, soft yellows, cozy lighting to ground us in normal life. Then, as the spy world kicks in, everything gets sharper, more metallic, with neon accents during night chases and cold fluorescence in hideouts. It's subtle, but it mirrors the character's emotional journey, from heartbreak comfort to high-stakes adrenaline. Tyler Bates' score follows the same arc: light, quirky strings in the beginning, then pounding electronic pulses mixed with orchestral swells once the action ramps up. The soundtrack choices, Beck's badass, some upbeat pop cuts, aren't just filler. They punctuate the comedy beats perfectly, like a musical wink every time Morgan does something outrageously over the top. Another fun behind-the-scenes nugget: the Bitoto car, that vintage ride they steal in one of the most chaotic sequences, was actually a lovingly restored 1970s East German Trabant. Yes, the infamous plastic-bodied car known for being hilariously unreliable. The crew had to modify it heavily for the stunts, but they kept the authentic look because it added that perfect layer of absurdity. Kev Adams, who plays the driver Lucas, spent hours practicing German-accented English lines and even learned a few real Hungarian phrases from the local crew just to mess with everyone between takes. Little cultural mashups like that make the film feel alive and playful. Cast anecdotes keep coming. In a 2018 Sirius XM radio spot, Mila Kunis admitted she was terrified of the gun training scenes at first. "I grew up in the 90s. I watched action movies, but holding a real prop gun? My hands were shaking." Kate McKinnon jumped in immediately, doing exaggerated tough guy poses to lighten the mood until Mila was laughing too hard to be nervous. Sam Heughan told a Scottish podcast that he kept his Outlander accent on lock during off hours because the Hungarian crew loved hearing it. They'd ask him to say random lines just for fun. Gillian Anderson, in a brief chat with The Guardian, said she relished playing Wendy because it let her lean into dry British humor without the usual sci-fi weight of her other roles. Even smaller players like Dustin Demry-Burns, Victor, shared on social media that the Budapest winter shoot meant freezing night exteriors, but the cast would huddle under heaters, cracking jokes and sharing hot chocolate between setups. Fast forward to 2026 for a second. This movie still holds up beautifully. In an era where so many comedies feel algorithm-driven or overly polished, The Spy Who Dumped Me remains raw, messy, and joyful. Streaming algorithms keep pushing it to buddy comedy and action comedy playlists, and new viewers discover it every month. TikTok and Instagram Reels are still full of clips. The trapeze fight set to trending audio, Morgan's sequin suit moments captioned "When your bestie hypes you up," Audrey's quiet "I killed someone" freakout remixed into relatable breakup memes. It's aged like fine wine because the core message, your best friend is the one person who will go to the ends of the earth, or at least to Prague for you, never gets old. In a time when a lot of content feels disposable, this one sticks because it's about real connection amid ridiculous stakes. So here we truly are at the end of this epic script journey. If I had to sum up why you should watch The Spy Who Dumped Me in one breath, it's the movie that says heartbreak sucks, but with your ride or die by your side, you can turn it into the wildest, funniest, most empowering adventure of your life. Mila Kunis gives you heart, Kate McKinnon gives you fire, Susanna Fogel gives you vision, and the whole thing gives you 2 hours of pure, unfiltered joy. Do this for yourself. Open your streaming app right now, search it, hit play, text your best friend emergency movie night if you can, laugh until your stomach hurts, cheer when they kick ass, feel that warm glow when the credits roll, and if there's a post-credits tease waiting, smile because you earned it. let's set the stage for what makes this movie so special. Released on August 3, 2018, The Spy Who Dumped Me is an American action comedy film that runs for about 117 minutes, giving you just the right amount of time to get fully immersed without dragging on. It's rated R for some strong language, violence, and brief nudity, so it's geared toward adults who appreciate a bit of edge in their entertainment. The story follows two best friends who find themselves thrust into a high-stakes international spy game after one of them gets dumped by her boyfriend, who turns out to be way more than he seems. Without giving anything away, it's all about ordinary people stepping up in extraordinary ways, filled with globe-trotting chases, clever disguises, and moments that will have you laughing out loud. If you've ever wondered what it would be like if your everyday life suddenly turned into a James Bond parody with heart, this is it. And the best part? It celebrates female friendship in a way that's empowering, funny, and totally relatable. Now, let's talk about the brilliant minds behind this project. The film was directed by Susanna Fogel, who also co-wrote the screenplay alongside David Iserson. Susanna Fogel is a talented filmmaker known for her sharp wit and ability to blend genres seamlessly. Before this, she directed episodes of TV shows like The Flight Attendant and co-created the series Life Partners, which also starred Gillian Anderson. More on her later. Fogel drew inspiration from classic spy films, but wanted to subvert the tropes by centering the story on two women who aren't trained agents, but everyday folks relying on their smarts and Bond to survive. David Iserson, on the other hand, brought his experience from writing for shows like New Girl and Mr. Robot, infusing the script with that perfect mix of humor and tension. Together, they crafted a narrative that's fresh, fast-paced, and full of surprises. The production was handled by Lionsgate, in association with Imagine Entertainment, which is the company founded by Ron Howard and Brian Grazer. Imagine has a track record of hits like A Beautiful Mind and the Rush Hour series, so they know how to deliver crowd pleasers. Filming took place across various locations to give that authentic international feel. Think bustling streets in Los Angeles, standing in for everyday American life, then jumping to stunning spots in Europe like Vienna, Austria, and Budapest, Hungary, which doubled for other cities in the story. The crew captured everything from high-speed car chases to intimate apartment scenes, using practical effects whenever possible to keep the action grounded and believable. The cinematography was led by Barry Peterson, who's worked on comedies like 21 Jump Street and We're the Millers, so he knew exactly how to frame those comedic beats with dynamic camera work that keeps your eyes glued to the screen. Speaking of the budget, this movie was made with a reported $40 million, which is pretty modest for an action flick with international scopes and A-list talent. A big chunk went into the practical stunts and location shoots, ensuring the film feels real rather than relying too heavily on CGI. Box office-wise, it grossed about $75.3 million worldwide, which might not sound like blockbuster numbers, but it turned a profit and found a dedicated fan base through home video and streaming. It opened in theaters against bigger releases like Mission Impossible, Fallout, yet it held its own by appealing to audiences craving something lighter and more comedic in the spy realm. Now, let's shine the spotlight on the incredible cast because, honestly, they're the heart and soul of why this movie works so well. Leading the charge is Mila Kunis as Audrey, the relatable every woman who's just trying to get over a breakup when chaos ensues. Mila, known for her roles in Black Swan, Friends with Benefits, and voicing Meg on Family Guy, brings a perfect mix of vulnerability and toughness to the character. She's the straight-laced one in the duo, making her reactions to the absurdity around her hilariously grounded. Right by her side is Kate McKinnon as Morgan, Audrey's eccentric and fiercely loyal best friend. Kate, a Saturday Night Live alum famous for impressions like Hillary Clinton and Justin Bieber, steals every scene with her over-the-top energy and impeccable timing. Their chemistry is electric. It's like watching two real-life pals navigate a wild adventure, and that's because Mila and Kate became close during filming, improvising lines that added even more authenticity. Supporting them is Sam Heughan as Sebastian, a charming British agent who's all about the spy life. Fans of Outlander will recognize Sam for his role as Jamie Fraser, and here he brings that same charisma, but with a modern action hero twist. Justin Theroux plays Drew, Audrey's ex-boyfriend, and he nails the mysterious vibe. You might know him from The Leftovers or writing Iron Man 2. Then there's Gillian Anderson as Wendy, the no-nonsense MI6 boss. Gillian, iconic for The X-Files and The Crown, adds gravitas and dry humor that's just chef's kiss. Other notable cast members include Hassan Minhaj as Duffer, a tech-savvy ally with spot-on comedic delivery from his Daily Show days. Ivana Sakno as Nadejda, a formidable gymnast assassin who's as graceful as she is intimidating. And Fred Melamed as Roger, bringing some quirky support. Even smaller roles like Jane Curtin as Carol, Morgan's mom, and Paul Reiser as Arnie, her dad, add layers of family humor. The ensemble is rounded out by actors like Olafur Dari Olafsson as a Finnish backpacker and Kev Adams in a cameo, each contributing to the film's diverse, globe-spanning feel. What really elevates this movie is the attention to detail in every aspect. The soundtrack, composed by Tyler Bates, who scored films like Guardians of the Galaxy and John Wick, mixes pulsating electronic beats for the action sequences with upbeat pop tracks that amp up the comedy. Songs from artists like Haley Steinfeld with capital letters and others pepper the film, creating a playlist that's as fun as the story itself. The costume design by Alex Bovaird deserves a shout-out too. She dressed the characters in ways that reflect their personalities. Audrey in practical, everyday outfits that evolve into spy gear, Morgan in bold, quirky ensembles that scream individuality. And the production design by Mark Holmes captured everything from cozy Los Angeles apartments to opulent European hotels, making the world feel lived in and immersive. Behind the scenes, there are so many fun facts that show the dedication poured into this project. For instance, Kate McKinnon actually performed many of her own stunts, including some wild driving scenes, which added to the authenticity. Mila Kunis, who was pregnant during early promotions, balanced motherhood with promoting the film, showing her commitment. Director Susanna Fogel encouraged improvisation, especially from Kate, leading to some of the film's most memorable lines. The movie was initially pitched as a female-led take on spy comedies like The Heat or Spy, but with a unique focus on friendship over romance. Filming in Budapest involved coordinating massive chase scenes with local crews, and there were even real gymnasts hired for action sequences to ensure realism. One cool trivia bit: the film's title is a play on the James Bond classic, The Spy Who Loved Me, nodding to its inspirations while carving its own path. Critically, The Spy Who Dumped Me received mixed reviews, with a 49% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on over 200 reviews and a Metacritic score of 52 out of 100. Some critics praise the lead's performances and the film's energy, with outlets like The Hollywood Reporter calling it a rollicking good time, and Variety noting the infectious chemistry between Kunis and McKinnon. Others felt it didn't fully reinvent the genre, but audiences loved it more, giving it a 62% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes and strong word of mouth. It found new life on streaming platforms like Netflix, where viewers appreciated its lighthearted escape during tougher times. While it didn't snag major awards, it was nominated for a People's Choice Award for Favorite Comedy Movie, highlighting its fan appeal. Diving deeper into the themes, this film is all about empowerment through friendship. It shows how two women, underestimated by the world around them, use their wits, humor, and unbreakable bond to tackle dangers that would intimidate even seasoned pros. It's a refreshing take in a genre often dominated by male leads, proving that action heroes come in all forms. The humor ranges from slapstick physical comedy, think awkward fights and mishaps, to witty banter that feels natural and unforced. There's also a subtle commentary on relationships, trust, and stepping out of your comfort zone, wrapped in layers of fun that make it accessible to everyone. Let's not forget the technical wizardry. The editing by Jonathan Schwartz keeps the pace snappy, jumping between laughs and thrills without missing a beat. Visual effects, handled by teams like DNEG, were used sparingly for enhancements like explosions or digital crowds, ensuring the film stays grounded. Sound design plays a big role too. The crunch of punches, the roar of engines, and the subtle tension-building music all immerse you in the action. If you're into comparisons, think of it as a mix of Bridesmaids meets Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but with more girl power and fewer predictable plots. It's influenced by films like Austin Powers for its parody elements and Bourne Identity for the espionage, but it stands out by prioritizing comedy over straight action. The marketing campaign was clever, with trailers highlighting the lead's antics and posters featuring them in spy poses, building buzz through social media and late-night show appearances. For trivia enthusiasts, here's more. The film features a cameo from RuPaul's Drag Race star Alyssa Edwards in a deleted scene, though it didn't make the final cut. Kate McKinnon based some of Morgan's quirks on her own improv experiences. Mila Kunis learned basic self-defense for her role, adding realism to her scenes. The script went through several drafts to balance tone, starting more dramatic before amping up the comedy. Location scouts chose Vienna for its historic architecture, which provided stunning backdrops for key moments. Even the props like gadgets and disguises were custom-made to fit the humorous style. Nothing too high-tech, keeping it relatable. Reception-wise, internationally, it performed well in markets like the UK and Australia, where audiences embraced the humor. Home video releases included bonus features like behind-the-scenes footage, deleted scenes, and commentary from the director and stars, giving fans even more to enjoy. On streaming, it's often recommended for date nights or girls' nights in, thanks to its feel-good energy. Why should you watch it? Because in a world full of serious spy thrillers, this one reminds us that laughter is the best weapon. It's empowering, entertaining, and endlessly rewatchable. Whether you're a fan of action, comedy, or just great storytelling, The Spy Who Dumped Me delivers on all fronts. Grab some popcorn, call a friend, and dive in. You won't regret it. But wait, there's even more to unpack. Let's talk about the development process. The idea sparked from Susanna Fogel's desire to create a story about female friendship in an unlikely setting. She pitched it to Lionsgate, who greenlit it after seeing the potential in a post-Wonder Woman era for strong female leads. Pre-production involved casting calls where Mila and Kate's audition chemistry sealed the deal. Script revisions focused on cultural sensitivity for international scenes, ensuring humor translated globally. During filming, which spanned from July to October 2017, the cast bonded over shared meals and improv sessions. Sam Heughan, fresh off Outlander, appreciated the lighter tone. Gillian Anderson shot her scenes in a few days, but left a big impact. Stunt coordinators from Atomic Blonde helped choreograph fights, emphasizing empowerment over brutality. Post-production saw the film test-screened multiple times, with audiences loving the ending's uplift. Marketing included viral clips of Kate's antics, boosting online buzz. At Comic-Con, the panel generated excitement with exclusive footage. Critics like RogerEbert.com gave it 2.5 stars, praising the leads but noting pacing issues. Yet publications like Entertainment Weekly highlighted its feminist angle. Audience demographics skewed female, with many citing it as a refreshing change. Let's set the scene on what makes this movie so special. Released on August 3, 2018 in the United States, The Spy Who Dumped Me is a spy comedy that's directed by the incredibly talented Susanna Fogel. Now, Susanna isn't just any director, she's also the writer behind this gem, co-penning the screenplay with David Iserson. This was her feature directorial debut for a major film, and boy, does she knock it out of the park. Before this, she had worked on TV shows like Chasing Life and Life Partners, which she also directed and co-wrote. Her style brings a fresh, female-led perspective to the spy genre, which has traditionally been dominated by brooding male leads. Instead, she flips the script, pun intended, focusing on everyday women thrust into extraordinary circumstances, and it's refreshing, empowering, and downright entertaining. If you're tired of the same old spy flicks with predictable plots, this one's for you because it injects so much wit and relatability that you'll be rooting for the characters from the get-go. Now, speaking of the story, without spoiling a single thing, the film follows two best friends, Audrey and Morgan, who find themselves unexpectedly entangled in a high-stakes international conspiracy after a breakup gone wrong. It's got all the elements of a classic spy thriller, chases, gadgets, and globe-trotting adventures, but wrapped in a comedic bow that pokes fun at the genre while delivering genuine excitement. The runtime is a brisk 117 minutes, which flies by because the pacing is spot on, balancing laugh-out-loud moments with pulse-racing action sequences. It's rated R for strong violence, language throughout, some crude sexual material, and brief nudity, so it's geared toward adults who appreciate a bit of edge in their comedies. And let me tell you, the humor isn't just slapstick. It's smart, character-driven, and often stems from the unbreakable bond between the two leads, making it feel authentic and heartfelt. Let's talk about the stars who bring this story to life. because the casting here is pure gold. Leading the pack is Mila Kunis as Audrey Stockton. Mila, known for her roles in everything from That 70s Show to Black Swan and Bad Moms, brings her signature charm and vulnerability to the character. She's the every woman you can relate to, smart, a bit awkward, and totally unprepared for the chaos that ensues. Then there's Kate McKinnon as Morgan Freeman. Yes, that's the character's name, and it's a hilarious nod that adds to the fun. Kate, a Saturday Night Live alum who's stolen scenes in Ghostbusters and Rough Night, is an absolute comedic powerhouse here. Her timing is impeccable, and she infuses Morgan with this over-the-top energy that's infectious. Together, Mila and Kate have this incredible chemistry that's the heart of the movie. Their friendship feels real, like they've been besties forever, and it's what elevates the film from good to great. Supporting them is a stellar ensemble that adds layers of intrigue and laughs. Sam Heughan plays Sebastian Henshaw, and if you're a fan of Outlander, you'll love seeing him in a more modern action hero role. He's charismatic, athletic, and brings a brooding intensity that contrasts perfectly with the lead's humor. Justin Theroux is Drew Thayer, Audrey's ex-boyfriend, and he channels his inner spy with a mix of charm and mystery. Fans of The Leftovers or Mulholland Drive know he can handle complex characters effortlessly. Gillian Anderson, iconic from The X-Files and The Crown, appears as Wendy, a no-nonsense MI6 agent who's as cool as they come. Her presence adds a touch of gravitas and wit to the proceedings. Other notable cast members include Ivana Sakno as Nadeja, a formidable gymnast assassin who's both terrifying and oddly captivating, Hassan Minhaj as Duffer, bringing his comedic chops from The Daily Show, and Jane Curtin as Carol, Morgan's mom, who's a scene stealer with her deadpan delivery. There's also Fred Melamed as Roger, Kev Adams as Lucas, Olafur Dari Olafsson as the Finnish backpacker, and even a cameo from Paul Reiser as Arnie. The cast is rounded out by actors like James Fleet, Carolyn Pickles, and Justine Waxberger in smaller but memorable roles. Each one contributes to the film's vibrant energy, making every interaction pop. Behind the camera, the production team is equally impressive. Produced by Brian Grazer and Erica Huggins under Imagine Entertainment, with Lionsgate handling distribution, this film had a budget of around $40 million. That's not blockbuster territory like some Marvel movies, but it's smartly used to create high-quality action without relying on excessive CGI. The cinematography by Barry Peterson, who's worked on 21 Jump Street and Game Night, captures the film's globe-hopping locations beautifully, from the streets of Los Angeles to the historic sites of Vienna, Prague, Berlin, Amsterdam, and even a bit of Budapest, standing in for other European spots. Filming took place primarily in 2017, starting in July in Budapest, Hungary, which doubled for various European cities due to its versatile architecture. They shot practical stunts there, including car chases and fight scenes to keep things grounded and exciting. The editing by Jonathan Schwartz keeps the momentum going, seamlessly blending comedy and action. The score, composed by Tyler Bates, who's scored hits like Guardians of the Galaxy and John Wick, adds a pulsating energy with its mix of electronic beats and orchestral swells, perfectly suiting the spy theme while amplifying the humorous beats. Songs in the soundtrack include tracks like Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, fitting for the female-led vibe, Bad Girls by MIA, and originals that enhance the mood without overpowering the dialogue.